points that are on offer, and he struck that so sweetly, didn't he?
Oh, it will give him a huge amount of confidence, especially when he missed that, penalty touch finder. That obviously that would have frustrated him immensely. But I thought he's had an outstanding game. They're really trying to play, rugby here in this kind of weather, which is really encouraging for every Scots fan to see. And he's also not been shy of the odd contact here and there. He's like to have a little go. But this kick before half-time, will do him the world of good. And as the guys have already said, it's given them a lot of confidence going into that second half with the likes of Lobbe being taken on.
They can put pressure on them. We know that the discipline is one of the issues with Argentina if they're put under pressure. And they know they can kick the penalties.
Andy Robinson will be delivering the message, I'm sure, in the dry of the Scotland dressing room. It'll be a fairly positive place. Rain still pouring down in the New Zealand capital. It's a day for the Wellington, but it's also a day for the boot, as we've seen from Rory Jackson. Huge battle coming up in the second half. Already today in the World Cup, the Pacific Island battle in Pool D was won by Samoa against Fiji. Ireland had their expected big win against Russia in Pool C. But this one is different in the reign of Wellington. It's tight. Scotland lead Argentina by 6 points to 3, and it could book Scotland's place in the World Cup quarter-finals. The rain really hammering down in New Zealand, but to these Scotland fans, it's merely a dreich kind of day, I would say, Tom. What do you expect from Scotland in the second half, perhaps with their newfound confidence?
Yeah, I mean, as Sean said, it was good to see they finished the end of that first half with, they were a lot more clinical in the breakdown, and I expect to see them take that into the second half. Also see them, try and run the ball as much as they were doing in that first half and look to really open up the gaps, and it's going to be a cracker, and can't wait.
And Argentina with some big injury problems, it seems, from the first half. Let's take the story on with Scott Hastings and Nick Mullins.
Things stay the same. Scotland will go into their big match against England at Eden Park next Saturday, with the two of them already sure of their place in the last 8. Things stay the same. The side that finished third 4 years ago will be on their way home fairly shortly. Still 40 minutes to play, though. Reminder that the Pumas have lost Roncero and Fernandez Lobbe from their pack in that first half. Celso and Fessier have come on. Scotland, as far as we can see, have made no changes at half-time. Fagaggio to Contepomi. Using Aguja, the Leicester winger. One of those replacements. Celso had to plop his sizable frame on the ball to win it back for the Pumas. Julio Farias Cabello, 32-year-old, digging the ball out like he's wearing ballet shoes, very tenderly. Very little about this second half will be tender. Jeff Cross spat out the back of the machine. And then Jacobson gets back onto his feet. Jacobson was there to make the tackle. Drop goal coming up here. Once again, it's a poor effort. And once again, Chris Patterson and Scotland will be relieved to clear.
Yeah, safe from Chris Patterson. Good defensive play, though, from Alan Jacobson. The double tackle with him and Jim Hamilton. And one of the key areas in the game is the ability for Hamilton and also Richie Gray to actually put pressure, make tackles, carry ball.
No more. That's your last time you leave, okay? Adjust.
Mario Ledesma, been around for 15 years, but he retires at the end of this tournament. He's off to become the forwards coach at Stade Francais. Albacete, who plays for Toulouse, wins it for them in the middle of the line-out. That's the Scottish 10-metre line. Fagaggio finds Farias Cabello. Fagaggio again. This is Carissa. There goes Aguja. 30-second cap for him. Played expansively against England and Romania. Not much room to play expansively here so far. It's a night for pragmatism. This is Bosch. Lamont has done fabulously well to rip that away from Bosch in the tackle. That's a turnover in the plus column for Scotland. Barkley takes it to ground. Lawson to Jackson, whose monster penalty just before the break has the Scots ahead. Martin Rodriguez is the Pumas fullback, just escapes the clutches of Hamilton but not Cross. Hamilton again busying himself, but just a little bit too much for Barnes' liking.
Now Ross Ford asking to get away, but didn't Sean Lamont do well there? Ripping the ball, getting the turnover for Scotland. Argentina through Martin Rodriguez down towards Scotland's 22.
Sean Lamont, 59th cap for the man who plays his rugby in Wales. He plays for the Scarlets in Llanelli. This was the moment Scotland conceded the penalty.
It was just that Ross Ford just didn't make a conscious effort to actually physically move and get out of the tackle.
Stolen by Gray.
Back foot, hold.
Lawson clears his 30th cap this evening. This is Leguizamon. Moving from Stade Francais to Lyon once this World Cup's completed. It might be ending prematurely for Argentina unless they can do something about this. Fabulously taken by Patterson. He needs to be careful here though, because he was turned and did exceptionally well to get the ball back. And they've won the penalty.
Ball down. 3-5 angle.
And that was
Got the penalty.
good work initially from Santiago Fernandez, the Argentine fly half, but Patterson worked very hard.
Yeah, Patterson had to work hard there to get the ball back. And another indication of how Argentina throw the bodies into that contact area, and that time illegally, and were penalised by Wayne Barnes. But they do make life difficult for you. But Scotland, the way they have reacted this first half, when they've taken the ball into contact, they've been a little bit sharp.
Do you know, I remember watching Ireland play a game against Argentina in 2003 at the Adelaide Oval, and this match is a little bit wetter, but it's got that feel about it. There's a feeling that one try might do this.
Well, there's a real edge to this is on a knife edge, and it will go right the way through this half.
It's a day to remember in 2003. Might yet be a night to remember in 2011. Jackson linking up with Morrison. Father and brother were so sure he'd be in the squad that they'd booked their tickets here before Andy Robinson had even picked it. They were right to book their tickets. Morrison was always going to go. Lawson, interesting little chip over the top of the defence. It puts Aguja in lots of trouble, and in the circumstances he did well to find Rodriguez. This is Vergageau, taken on by Camacho. Once of Harlequins, soon to be of Exeter. Hammered away by Rodriguez. Here goes Patterson. No one has played more times for Scotland. Lawson to Morrison, to Jackson. This is Evans. Oh, it might yet work. If he can get away, there'll be a try here. Barkley, 5 metres short. Now where's the support? The ball's there. It's been won by Lawson. It's as close as Scotland have been all match, and then they lose the ball again in the contact. If Andy Robinson had any hair, it would be scattered all over the floor of the coach's box.
Yeah, the isolated man once again. Lawson took the ball in. He didn't have anybody with him. Turnover conceded. Evans pumps the ball up. What about this for a bounce? The old backspin works an absolute treat. In the support is John Barkley. He's been working well. Well, there was an opportunity, I felt, to go the other way. Look how many Argentinian bodies came back there to defend, and Lawson completely on his own. loses the possession. The tackle came in from Martin Rodriguez, and Argentina let off the hook by Scotland's inability to polish off these chances.
Juan Manuel Leguizamon is now down, as is his opposite number, John Barkley. Turned 25 yesterday. Spent a couple of months here with the Wellington Academy as a teenager. He knows what life and rugby means in this city on the tip of the North Island.
Yeah, he was under massive pressure from Ross Rennie, who's not in the match day 22, but he was certainly his place was up for grabs. Barkley's been given the chance and he's repaid his coach.
I'm not a doctor, but I don't think Juan Manuel Leguizamon looks long for this match. The Argentine physios will be telling him, you've got to carry on, we've got no one left on the bench.
Well, Fernandez Lobby was exactly the same, wasn't he? He wanted to stay on it. Basically, his leg wasn't working. And Leguizamon is exactly the same, but Wayne Barnes playing on, and this is an important one for Scotland now.
Real opportunity for them. Argentina are a man down. Scotland have got to make moments like this count, and they've lost the line out. Contepomi, as the rain gets steadily heavier, it's driving in the face of the Argentinians. Patterson will hoist it up on the storm. Falls just outside the 22. Hammond was there to make the tackle.
Contepomi's played a great game today. He's been as safe as houses. He's been at the middle of everything for Argentina.
Bagaggio, delicate. Lawson provided a navy blue buffer. Back on his feet, and he will feed the ball to Jackson. Hamilton didn't go far because he ran into Farias Cabello. Jackson, has he measured it right? No. Needed it to bounce, so we'll come all the way back, and Argentina will have the scrum from where he kicked it.
Yeah, just a couple of little mistakes coming in from Jackson. He has played with maturity, he spots spaces out wide, but on this one, just doesn't nail his kick. Of course, on the bench this evening is Dan Parks, who normally takes a tape measure out onto the pitch with him. Such is the accuracy of his kicking.
Argentina had the option of the scrum, but they've gone for the line out instead. Ledesma finds Albacete. We're looking for Leguizamon. Ball was knocked on, it'll be Scotland's scrum now.
Well, that'll be the 8th handling error, but you can understand the handling error. It's absolutely whipping around the cake tin here in Wellington. We're almost getting soaked as well in the commentary box.
It's the kind of night that cleans the pavements, isn't it? It is walloping it down.
And this is going to go right to the wire. It's the team that holds their nerve. It's the team that keeps their head up and concentrates.
Those who travelled halfway around the world to be here are urging Scotland on as Brown puts his nose to the turf. Lawson finds Hamilton. Big Jim in for the captain Kellett this evening. Lawson to Jackson, taken on by Gray, just 22, 6'10", a 19.5 stone World Cup giant. Kind of night that he will learn so much from. This is Strokosz, chiselled, no-nonsense block of granite. Jackson, this needs to be a little bit more accurate. Rodriguez has lost it and he needed Camacho to help him out, and Scotland with DeLuca and Co were up quickly. Bosch manages to bring it away. Here goes Fernandez, playing a dangerous game here. Carissa. Oh, the ball was interrupted and Strokosz is on.
Always under pressure.
Argentina will have the scrum.
Well, it's amazing to think Argentina are trying to move the ball in such conditions when Scotland are up and pressing hard in their defence. But the knock-on came from the chase-up kick by Sean Lamont. A real battle, though, up front, and both sets of forwards giving it absolutely everything. Concern maybe from this big man. Richie Gray's carried the ball, he's made his tackles.
One stop, second row and
He was
hooker.
determined to make an impact on this World Cup. But in these conditions, it's what happens up front. It's your 8 forwards that have to compete. Here was the knock-on. Well, again, Wayne Barnes, he was perhaps closer than I was.
Yeah.